You ever notice how Jay-Z keep catching strays every few weeks? One day it's lawsuits, next day it's old clips resurfacing, then it's Desiree back in court again. Like, why all this smoke at once?
Why?
Shit, I don't even know. Like, I can't even tell you that. Like,
see, the internet keep treating it like random drama, but nah, this feel calculated. From Diddy's fall to LVMH stepping back to that $110 million copyright hit, there's a whole chain reaction going on that nobody's talking about. So we gonna dig deep, not just into the lawsuits, but the why. Why Jay's empire keep catching bullets from every angle, and who's actually loading the gun. Let's talk about it. So first off, this new lawsuit, wild. A dude named Royale Sharif K. Bush, stage name Royal, just sued Roc Nation, Atlantic Records, and Lil Uzi Vert for $110 million. Yeah, million. Apparently he dropped a song called Pain and Pleasure in August 2022. Then a month later, Uzi drops Just Wanna Rock. Same bounce, same hook, same vibe.
You don't find that suspicious?
Now Royal's like, hey yo, that's mine. He got musicologists saying the songs matched 93 to 97%, and the man came with receipts. He ain't just yelling they stole my flow. Nah, he broke down his losses like a Wall Street accountant.
Today your ass is gonna die, bitch. Say goodnight, motherfucker.
8 million from streams, 12 million from sync deals, 25 million from brand endorsements, liquor, fashion, auto, then 25 million for reputation harm, and 40 million for future losses. Bruh even threw in AI catalog exploitation. That's how modern this beef is. And look, normally I clown a dude asking for 9 figures, but when you realize Just Wanna Rock got blasted in Fortnite, TikTok, NFL halftime shows, Grammys, that's global exposure. So if your idea got copied and then used everywhere, 100 million don't sound that crazy. Plus, Royal had already sent his music to Atlantic before Uzi's release, meaning they heard it. That's what lawyers call access. Combine that with substantial similarity, that's when the judge stopped smiling and started reading. And remember, Roc Nation represents Uzi, so even if Hov ain't touched the beat, his company's in the crossfire. It's like you minding your business, then your little cousin snatch a candy bar and the store owner come after you. So yeah, the empire just caught another stray. And this time it got paperwork behind it. See, this ain't just one lawsuit. Roc Nation's been fighting more cases than a UFC card. You got the Busby situation where Jay tried to swing back and lost every round. The Desiree Perez heat, her charges moving forward next year, and Ramir's paternity case lurking in the background. Add all that up, plus lawyer fees from Quinn Emanuel, and you see why people whispering that Roc Nation bleeding cash. I ain't saying they broke. Nah, Jay's too strategic for that. But even billionaires hate losing money, especially when it's going to lawyers instead of yachts. And here's the catch. Even when you win in court, you lose time, focus, and brand heat. Sponsors start ghosting, deals freeze, artists get nervous. It's a slow bleed. That's why you see them doing weird collabs overseas or pushing products that feel random. They trying to refill the tank. But when that many lawsuits hit the same company, same year, same leadership, it stops looking like bad luck and starts looking like karma on a schedule. So yeah, they still rich, but if this pace keeps up, they gonna need a GoFundMe before the Grammys. Let's be real, bruh. None of this chaos started by accident. Everything changed the minute Diddy got arrested in 2024. The feds ain't just cuffed one man. They shook the whole food chain. Executives, investors, brand partners, everybody started looking around like, wait, who else was close to him? And who's been Diddy's dinner table buddy for 2 decades? Jay-Z. They was running the same brunch circuit, same private jets, same power circle. So when Diddy fell, every ally he had started feeling the tremor. That's the domino effect. Not just guilt by association, it's risk by association. When the first mogul goes down, the others get audited. Banks start calling, sponsors hit pause, the press starts digging. It ain't about guilt, it's about proximity. And trust me, these big execs in Europe, Asia, the Middle East, they ain't playing with scandal. You 1 degree from a predator case, they pulling funding faster than Spotify removes a diss track. That's why you see Jay popping up in quiet Middle East deals, Kushner projects, new business fronts. Man's trying to move his money out of the storm cloud. But no matter how high you climb, when one domino falls, the vibration gonna reach your table too. So when people ask why Jay-Z catching strays, it's cause the industry's cleaning house and the universe moving in slow motion, collecting dues. You don't always need bullets. Sometimes reputation do the shooting. Now here's where it gets deja vu. Remember Bad Boy Records? Contracts nobody could read, artists vanishing, hits recycled like old mixtapes. That whole era of shiny suits and shady paperwork. Tell me this don't sound familiar. You got lawsuits from artists saying Roc Nation stole sound, stole credit, underpaid talent. Bruh, the parallels are uncanny. Different decade, same hustle. The only difference is the lighting's better. And think about it. Both labels started with the same formula. Get the streets on your side, get the business suits to believe in you, and then start owning the pipelines. But when you own too much, you attract the same thing every empire attracts. Rebellion from the bottom, lawsuits from the middle, and investigations from the top. Back in the day, Diddy was stealing beats right out of studios. Now it's AI catalogs, publishing splits, and sync rights. The game changed, but the greed stayed fluent. That's why people call Roc Nation Bad Boy 2.0. Not out of hate, but out of pattern recognition. Every label that grows too powerful starts eating its own until the artists start biting back. And bruh, the lawsuit stacking now, that's the sound of history repeating itself, just with better lawyers and cleaner fonts. All right, let's talk ego for a second, because that's where the internet really lost its mind. A clip just resurfaced. Jay-Z on Twitter Spaces back in 2021 talking big. No disrespect. No one can stand on that stage with me.
You are dumb, unattractive, overweight, unworthy, untalented.
Bruh, nobody? You mean Drake, Wayne, Kendrick, not even Nas? I get it, Hov's a legend. But that clip sound different now when you play it next to all these lawsuits, right? Back then it was the godfather of rap. Now it's giving CEO under pressure. And here's the wild part. Fans started doing versus fantasy battles online like, okay, if Drake dropped headlines, what Jay playing? Lil Wayne go a milli, what Jay got? And half the comments was like, wait, name 5 Jay songs without features. See, it exposed something. Jay's catalog is elite, but his ego marketing might be his biggest hit of all. Hov's always been that quiet power type. He don't yell like Diddy, he don't melt down like Ye, but make no mistake, he got the same ego energy just in a tux. He just learned how to hide it behind business meetings and Basquiat paintings. But when old clips pop up while the court cases stack up, that confidence don't sound legendary anymore. It sound ironic. The same bar that once sounded like a flex now sound like foreshadowing. See, the thing about ego is currency in music, but it's a liability in court. You can't swagger past a subpoena, bruh. Judges don't care how many platinum plaques you got. You walk in there talking, I'm untouchable, they gonna touch everything you own. That's what's happening now. That old Hove bravado is being flipped against him. The media running side by sides of his quotes next to docket files. Every soundbite becomes an exhibit. Every flex turns into evidence of arrogance. That's how they dismantle power. Not with handcuffs, but headlines. And this is bigger than Jay. It's how America humbles every black mogul who reaches the top. They let you build, let you brag, then they hit replay on your own words when it's time to knock you down. And the wild part? They don't even need to fabricate nothing. You already said enough on camera. So when people ask, why Jay-Z's empire keep catching strays? It's partly because his empire been built on ego energy. Once the ego cracks, the brand follows. In hip-hop, confidence sells. In corporate America, confidence is evidence. All right, let's follow the money, because it always tells the real story. Every empire that looks under attack usually just loses control of the cash flow. And bruh, Roc Nation's flow looking shaky right now. All these lawsuits, they don't just drain bank accounts. They freeze partnerships, delay deals, make sponsors nervous. Nobody want to collab with a label that's showing up in court more than in the charts. We already seen it. LVMH slowing down their Rihanna ties, brands whispering about distance, and investors doing quiet check-ins to see how deep the legal smoke is. You don't need to lose the case to lose the confidence. Once money stops moving, people start panicking. And Jay know that. That's why you see sudden global business headlines pop up. Middle East projects, equity talks, secret investments. Translation, let me stash the bag somewhere the lawsuits can't touch. But here's the bigger picture. When the system feels you built something too independent, too black, too powerful, they don't shut you down overnight. They slow you down with paperwork, lawyer by lawyer, case by case, week by week. It's not cancel culture. It's corporate constriction. They suffocate you with compliance. They turn your accountants into informants and your friends into consultants. That's what Jay fighting right now. Not haters, but high-level hesitation. The empire's still standing, but the money, it ain't sprinting like it used to. And when the money slows down, the wolves start circling. You can always tell when the streets smell blood, even if it's billionaire blood. Now here's where things get deep, the part most people miss. What if this whole wave of mogul meltdowns ain't random? What if it's ritual cleansing, industry style? Every few years, Hollywood and the music world go through what I call a power purge. They pick a few kings, tear them down in public, then reset the throne for the next generation they can control. It ain't about justice, it's about balance. When one gets too powerful, the gatekeepers remind them who really own the gate. You think Diddy, Kanye, Jay-Z all falling around the same time is coincidence? Nah, that's choreography. Different charges, different scandals, but the timing always hit the same rhythm. They don't hang you from trees no more. They hang you on timelines. They drag your name till the brand value drops, then the same machine that crowns you sells your downfall as content. And that's why you keep seeing these new faces pop up. Younger artists, cleaner image, safer energy. The industry constantly resets, replacing rebels with robots. It's the oldest trick in capitalism. Destroy the icons before they get too independent. So when folks say, Jay-Z catching strays, I see it different. He's a warning shot, a reminder to every future mogul what happens when you get too big to manage. That's the real reason behind the lawsuits, the leaks, the sudden distance from allies. This ain't karma, it's a cleanse. The question is, who's next on the list? So, what can Jay really do now? He's at that part of the movie where every move matters. One wrong deal, one wrong quote, one wrong exclusive interview, and it could snowball fast. First option, settle quietly. Pay the people, take the L, and disappear for 6 months. That's the industry detox. You don't fix the truth, you just fade till folks forget. Second option, restructure Roc Nation. Cut ties, clean house, bring in new management, make it look like reform. Translation, same game, new jerseys. He's done it before. Remember when Def Jam started looking dusty? He jumped ship, flipped the narrative, came back richer. Third option, go rogue. Go independent again. Shift to legacy building. Books, documentaries, ownership plays. But that move comes with risk. Less protection, more exposure. When you're not under the system's wing, you're flying solo. And that's when the hawks come out. I think the smartest thing Hove can do right now, lay low, clean up optics, and move with silence. No interviews, no flexes, no brunch photos. Just make chess moves, quiet ones. Because the next misstep, it won't just be another lawsuit. It might be legacy damage. We've seen this movie before. Kanye, Diddy, Tory, even Will Smith. The higher the climb, the steeper the karma. And if Jay want to survive the purge, he gonna have to evolve again. You know what this whole story really show, bruh? It don't matter how many billions you stack, you can't outrun what you ain't ready to face inside. Jay spent decades building the perfect empire. Clean suits, art galleries, reform speeches, but even the cleanest glass house crack under pressure. And lately, them cracks loud as hell. Maybe that's the point though. Maybe every empire gotta break a little. So the man behind it remember he human again. Cause at the end of the day, the goal ain't just to win court cases or drop hits. It's to stay real enough that when the world come for you, truth still protects you. So whether you love Jay-Z, hate him, or just watching from the sidelines, understand this: power ain't bad, but power without soul, that's just a slow death with a penthouse view. All right, that's enough truth for one night. Now I want to hear from y'all. Do you think Jay-Z's just catching random strays? Or is this part of a bigger cleanup? A message to every black billionaire out here getting too free. Drop your thoughts below. You know I read every single one. And if you vibed with this breakdown, make sure you watch the video that just popped on your screen right now. Trust me, it ties straight into this. I'll see you on the next one. Panda out.